Amazing day. It's Miss Harris, and I'm thrilled that you're tuned in to see what's happening with Miss Harris. Learning the terminology associated with equations will improve your understanding of equations and will help you to solve them more effectively. We all know that math has a language of its own, and it would be my pleasure to introduce, revisit, or refresh your knowledge of equations vocabulary to set you for success. Equation. An equation is a mathematical sentence that shows that two expressions are equal. In our example, we have the equation 6k minus 4 equals 72. This equation consists of two expressions and an equality. The expression on the left is 6k minus 4. The expression on the right is 72. What separates both expressions is the equal sign, also known as the equality. Expression. An expression is a term or a combination of terms and operators, such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. In our example, we have 2x plus 9. This expression consists of two terms and an operator. The term on the left is 2x. On the right, we have 9. Both terms are separated by the operator, the plus sign. Coefficient. A coefficient is a number multiplied by a variable. For example, we have 8e. The coefficient is 8 and the variable is e. 8 is the coefficient because it is being multiplied times the variable. Variable. A variable is a symbol, usually a letter, that represents an unknown quantity. In our example, we have 2m plus 7 equals negative 3. Our variable in this equation is the letter m. Isolate the variable. To isolate the variable is to get the variable alone on one side of the equal sign using inverse operations. For example, we have the equation 6k equals 72. Our variable k is on the left side of the equal sign. We see that k is being multiplied times 6. Since k is being multiplied times 6, we will isolate the variable using inverse operations. The inverse of multiplication is division. Therefore, we will divide both sides of the equal sign by k. This leaves us with k equals 12 because 72 divided by 6 is 12. There, we've isolated the variable. K equals 12 is our solution. Inverse operations. Inverse operations are operations that undo each other. For example, the inverse of addition is subtraction. The inverse of subtraction is addition. The inverse of multiplication is division, and the inverse of division is multiplication. constant. A constant is a number that stands alone. In our example, we have the equation 7w plus 9 equals 14. In this equation, there are two numbers that stand alone, which are two constants. On the left side of the equal sign, we have 9, and on the right side of the equal sign, we have 14. Term. A term is any single number, variable, or a combination of numbers and variables multiplied together. In our example, we have -2. It is a term. 8g, it is also a term. It consists of a coefficient and a variable multiplied together. In this example, we have 5xy. We have the coefficient 5 that is being multiplied times the variables x and y, which makes 5xy, one term. Our final example is the letter P. You may think that P does not have a coefficient, but there is an invisible 1 that is being multiplied times P. Moreover, P is still a term. Like terms. A like term are terms that contains the same variable to the same power. For example, the like terms in this example are 5x and -6x. Both of these terms are considered like terms because they both have the letter x. This example, -6x squared and 5x squared. Both of these are like terms because they both have the same variable that is raised to the same power. Our last example is 7 and -12. They are like terms, even though they don't have variables. They're considered like terms because they are both numbers that stand alone. Therefore, all constant terms are considered like terms. Unlike terms. An example of an unlike term is 2c and 2e. Yes, they both have the same coefficient, but be mindful, they are not like terms because they have two different variables, c and e. The next example of unlike terms are -6x squared and 5x squared y. These are not like terms because they do not have the same variables raised to the same power. I will begin with the first example. The directions read, identify each part of the equation given. The equation given is 5x plus 11 equals 26. We see what's outlined in this problem. On the left side, we have 5x plus 11. On the right side of the equal sign, we see the number 26. If we can recall our equations vocabulary, we would know that both of these represent expressions. We know that an equation is a mathematical sentence that shows that two expressions are equal. Next, what's outlined is the letter x. If we can recall from our equations vocabulary, we will recognize that x is a variable. The next number that's outlined is 5. If we notice where 5 is positioned, 5 is being multiplied times the variable. It's the number in front of a variable, and we know that that is a coefficient. Next, we will look at 11 and 26. Both of them are outlined. We see that these are just basic numbers that are standing alone. Well, these numbers can be identified as constants or terms. Now it's your turn. Think you're up for the challenge? Let's go. First question, 2x plus 14 equals 34. In the equation above, 14 is a 14 is a constant. Did you guess it? Great job. Next question. 2x plus 14 equals 34. In the equation above, 2 is a... Two is a coefficient. Way to go. Next question. 2x plus 14 equals 34. In the equation above, x is a... X is a variable. Awesome. Next question. 2x plus 14 equals 34. In the equation above, 34 is a... $34 is a constant. Super job. Next question. 7gh plus 8k equals 4g plus 1. List all the coefficients in the equation above. The coefficients in the equation above are 7, 8, and 4. Great job! Next question. 7gh plus 8k equals 4g plus 1. How many terms are listed in the equation above? There are 4. Awesome! Equations vocabulary is what's happening. I'm honored that you participated and persevered. So, how do you feel? Are you ready to begin the next skill? Tune in again and again to see what's happening with Miss Harris. Please know that you're loved and that with God, all things are possible. Toodles, toodles. Until next time.